Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This will be another tutorial because I've had some issues with Windows 2008 R2 server. I was getting a boot manager is missing or corrupt error, and we couldn't boot back into the operating system. That was an issue since it's an enterprise server, and they had um, all their applications on there, and their emails and everything, so they didn't want to lose anything. I usually manage their server uh, using remote desktop. Yeah, and I wasn't able to log in because of that error, and the OS wouldn't boot up. And we tried to repair the boot, and nothing worked. They brought me the server here, and I spent I'd say 2, 3, maybe 4 hours on the phone with Dell support agents because it's a Dell server, and they made me do stuff uh, which didn't work, and they ended up saying, well, you're gonna have to reinstall the OS, and there's nothing much else you can do. You'll have to reinstall everything, all the settings, recreate all the users, and reinstall all programs that was on the server, everything. So I thought to myself, oh boy, there must be another way. So I started to check for other options, and found a few tutorials on the web on how to do it, and none of them worked. So I had to reinstall the OS. After I reinstalled, I didn't do a fresh install. Like, I didn't delete the partitions or anything. I just reinstalled over the old OS partition, and it told me, yeah, you don't upgrade. You have to do a custom install. And it told me that there's already an OS on that drive, and it's going to create a Windows.old folder where all your other files will be, and you can access them, but your programs won't work. So I said, well, I'll do it this way anyway. I won't delete the partition. Maybe I'll be able to move all contents of the folder back to the new installation. So I tried that, reinstalled the OS, and then I was able to log back into the server. I copied the contents of the folder to the Windows folder, the new installation folder, and it didn't work. It broke the new installation. So I had to reinstall again. Uh, but in this, I'll list the steps and everything in the description, so you won't have to do anything twice, hopefully, if everything goes as planned. And this is supposed to work with Windows Vista, Windows 7. I'm not sure about Windows 8. Should work because it's the same file system. And previous version of Windows, I'm not sure if it works, because maybe it does, but I'm not sure. So you can try it. You got nothing to lose if you get this error, because the only thing you can do is either repair it if it's repairable. If it's not repairable, you have to reinstall. So you have nothing to lose. and it does work with Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2008 R2, and probably the newer Windows version, Windows Server 2012. I think it's 2012, maybe 2013, I'm not sure. So yeah. Uh, then once you reinstall, before you reinstall, you have to make sure that on your OS partition you have enough disk space to have like two operating systems, because when it creates the Windows.old folder, it moves your old Windows to that folder with your program files, your user accounts, and your documents and settings, and program data, and that stuff. So most of the folders are of your old Windows that's not working anymore will be copied to that Windows.old folder. So everything that's needed uh, uh, to recover your old Windows is in there, even with your programs and your user settings and everything. So it's important that you have enough space to uh, on your partition to copy that and install the new OS. So make sure you have enough space before doing this, because if you don't have enough space, you probably won't have that Windows.old folder, or it will just not work. So yeah, once you once you've installed your new OS, just go. And also, this is good if you want to roll back, like if you just installed Windows Vista or Windows 7 from an older version of Windows, like Windows Vista. You installed Windows 7 over Windows Vista in an upgrade, because when you upgrade it, it's supposed to keep that Windows.old folder. Um, if And the same for if you upgraded from Windows XP, Windows 2000, and so on. So this is good to recover an old installation of Windows. Uh, but to recover an old installation of Windows, you don't need to reinstall the OS. You just have to make sure that the Windows.old folder is in your OS drive, which is usually the C drive. And yeah, so that will be the next steps. Next steps is for either boot manager is missing, or a recovery from a newly installed OS that you would not like and would like to recover to an older version. So uh, once the OS is installed, just make sure that you do have that Windows.old folder. If you don't, then you can't do it. You can't recover your files and your programs and everything. You'll have to reinstall everything manually. So cross your fingers and hope that you do have that Windows.old folder once the installation is completed. So the way that I did it to have that Windows.old folder in there is by doing a custom install, not an upgrade or anything like that. I had to do a custom install. And anyways, the upgrade will not work if you can't boot into the OS, because usually you can only upgrade if you're already in the OS, like it's booted and everything, and you insert the CD and you tell it, I want to upgrade. So usually, if you booted into the CD, then uh, then you should not be able to upgrade. You should have to do the custom install. So once you made sure that the Windows.old folder is present on your C drive or your OS drive, if it's not the C drive, uh, you have to reboot your computer and boot back into the installation CD. This is for either boot manager's missing error, or to roll back to a previous version of Windows. So once you've booted to the CD, you use the same CD that you installed. Like if you upgraded to Windows 7, you use a Windows 7 CD or DVD. So I think Windows 7 only comes on DVD. So you put that into your computer, you reboot on the CD or DVD, and after the first screen, when you choose a language and the keyboard layout, you're going to have an option at the bottom to repair your computer. So you click on that. If you don't have that option, just simply press Shift and F10 and it will open the command prompt. But if you do have that option, click on Repair Your Computer and then choose the OS that you want to repair. It's going to list the OS that's installed. And if the OS is still not listed and it's asking you to load the drivers, don't do it. Just press Shift F10. Or if you just want to press Shift F10, you can do it. So yeah, and once you've selected your OS, you click next, and you're gonna have options to what you want to do. If you want to repair the boot or things like that. So you click on the bottom option, which is command prompt, and it will bring up that Windows command prompt. Once you're in the command prompt, you'll have to use the WMIC command to list all the drives that you have on your computer, because uh, even if your OS is installed in the C drive, like if you have multiple partitions, even if the OS is in the C drive, in the command prompt, it might be another drive. It might be E, it might be F, it might be X. So you'll have to use the WMIC command to find out what drives you have on your machine. Take note of these drives, and then you'll have to use the dir command to list the contents and find out which one is your OS drive. So once you found the OS drive, just take note of it and make sure that you remember it if you don't take note. And if you want to roll back to your old Windows installation, you'll also have to note your CD DVD drive letter. So take note of one or both of them if you're doing a rollback. And next, you'll have two. I have notes, by the way, so I might read. Next, you'll have to back up the folders. The folders you'll be replacing, you'll have to back them up in case something goes wrong. You can come back and undo what you just did by doing practically the same steps but in reverse. So yeah, you'll need to in the command prompt change to your OS drive, and then you'll have to move the folders that will be replaced in that you'll have to create a backup directory first, and then you'll need to move the folders and files that you will replace in that backup directory. So once everything is moved to the backup directory, then you can go to you can copy the contents of your Windows.old folder to the C drive or the OS drive if it's not C. And once that is done, if you are doing if you are trying to fix the boot manager is missing error, then that should be it. You can then exit the command prompt and then reboot your computer, and it should work fine. All your programs should be back there, all your users, everything should be back in order, and you won't have to do anything with the registry. Everything should be fine. Even the profiles and all the features installed on the Windows server are reinstalled, so you don't need to waste hours of reconfiguring a server the way it was before, because that would have been long. If this wouldn't have worked for me, it would have been extremely long to recover that server to its initial state. So yeah, and if you are doing a rollback, then you'll need to replace the boot sector. So if you have Windows XP, Windows Server 2003, or Windows 2000, it's going to be different than if you have Windows Vista. So I'll put these steps in the description also. Uh, and if you add if you have Windows XP or Windows 2000, you'll also have to restore the boot.ini file. So that's about it. Then when that is done, you just close your command prompt, reboot your computer, and after that, well, there's still something you need to do. Well, you don't need to do it, but to free disk space, it's recommended to do it. So after you verified, that's either for the rollback or the boot manager is missing error. So after everything is restored and you boot up to your OS and it boots up normally, you can and your programs work correctly, then you can simply go into the uh, C drive and delete those folders, like the backup folder that you created and the Windows.old directory. Windows.old directory is not hard to get rid of. You only have to do a disk cleanup, and in the options you'll have old Windows installation. Click on that and it's going to delete that folder. So if the backed up directory you created, you won't be able to delete it off the bat. You'll have to change the owner and change the permissions on it. So I'll leave those steps in the description also, so you'll be able to follow these steps, and it's going to be easier if it's written down than just listening to me pausing the video and starting all over again. So and the description is going to be way clearer than what I'm saying right now. So that's it, and I hope you the best of luck to recover your Windows and to fix that boot manager error, and because these happen sometime with Windows updates, and that's what happened on the server. Windows installed 15 updates, and the next morning they got into work and the server wasn't working anymore. It was just that message saying boot manager is missing or corrupt. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If this helped you, please leave a like. If you like these kind of videos, please leave a like. You can leave a comment, ask me any question, and I'll help you. I'll help you the best way I can. And even if it's not related to this error, I know pretty much, well, not everything. I know a lot of stuff on Windows computers and also on Linux machines. So yeah, if you have a question, you can feel free to ask me, and if I can help you, I will. If I can't, I'll just say sorry, I can't help you on that one, because I don't want to give you wrong information and make you break your things. So in this case, it's already broken. If boot manager is missing, then it's broken. And if you don't like the OS, you can consider it broken. And yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.